Hey y'all. So when we bought this cottage or cabin here on the lake 6 years ago, we bought it for $50,000, which was a good price for the location, it being on the lake and everything else. This is a transitioning neighborhood. You still have some of the old lake shacks, but then you also have $300,000 homes being built. Now, like I said, we bought the house for $50,000, knowing it had many problems that we were going to have to remedy. And a lot of our videos have been around our fixing those things. One of the things we've mentioned, but we hadn't started working on, was our foundation problems. Now, this is a pier and beam house, which means it is a house up on cinder blocks. This house was built in 1968, the front part was, and the remodel in the back, which includes our bedroom, was built in 1979. Now, our house sits on a slope about like this. It slopes down to the lake, which we call a swamp. That part where the canal is, we call that a swamp. But that is where Lake Houston begins. So with the grade being like this, and it's not like we can rebuild the neighborhood. We have our bedroom here and the slope here, and all over the years the mud has just built up and up and up and up against that back bedroom wall, and you can no longer see under the house. There's no longer really a crawl space, and we have to fix that. So I've already started digging a trench, and Tommy's working on some other things. So before someone says, why isn't Tommy helping you? Well, that's why, because he's working on some other things that I can't do or don't want to do, like running new wiring for the guest bedroom, for example, or putting in windows. So while he's doing that, I'm over here shoveling, and I'm about 4 wheelbarrows in right now, and I probably have 20 to go. So the plan is to put in a French drain back there, but we first have to dig all along our 2-bedroom walls to dig a trench at least 18 inches deep, which we will then put rock in and put some corrugated pipe in, and then cover that up with rocks. And eventually we'll run the French drain out towards the ditch. But for now, we just need to get it away from the house, because we can't even put new siding on the back of the house until we have put this French drain in. So let me show you what I'm working on, and I will try to show you as much of this process as I can and explain things as we go along. But there will be some time lapse, because who wants to sit and watch me dig a trench for 3 days? So anyway, let me show you. Okay, so just to give you an example, this is outside of my office. You can, and my dogs are going to bark because I'm outside. You can see the concrete here. You can see here. You can see the main support beam of the house, and you can actually belly crawl up underneath there. This is more along the lines of how it's supposed to look. When you come down here to our bedroom, you start to see wood sitting right directly on the ground. And this is that main support beam, which is sitting directly on the ground. And that is a huge no-no. Not supposed to be that way. So I haven't started on this side at all, but I will. But I have started on this side, because it was the same way as this side over here. So I've started digging and digging, and eventually got to the plastic that we have under our bedroom floor. Pulled some of it out, looking to see what died under our room. But anyway, so I'm still digging all this out, pulling the mud away, and eventually I want to be able to see up underneath the house. I don't want to be able to see dirt like you see right here. You can see that I haven't done anything down here, but repair work is going to have to be done on this wood that you see right here. You can see that's rotten, because that was sitting and getting water on it. I'll be pulling this off and digging all this out. So I'll dig from here all the way down. I'm going to come out further, and then I'll turn the corner and we will go in probably to about the kitchen window, which is even with that picnic table there. And that's where we're going to stop with this French drain project. So let me get my wheelbarrow and get started digging again.
I'm on the side of the ones who never quite fit. Square pegs that just won't go into round holes. People who color and paint outside of the lines. Born with the freedom to follow their souls. I want to ride with the ones who never say quit. Eyes wide open, blind to the rules. Doers and shakers, good troublemakers, dreamers and hellraisers too. This world calls them crazy, the world calls them fools. I call them friends, I call them every day. Well, I just won't listen, and I got something to say. When I'm on top of the world, when I fall on my face, when I gotta laugh, when I need to pray. Well, I call them sisters and brothers who care for each other and help one another in need. I call them Texans, I call them my big
And when you're doing this,
family.
you need to be careful for pipes and things. I knew it was here because there's a spigot right here. So I knew it was somewhere in the vicinity here. But watch out for things like that. The before you dig people aren't gonna mark stuff like that. I'm wanting to come out 18 inches from the house, so I did put me in some flags to show me how far out I need to come. Give me kind of a gauge. Like right here, I've almost come out 18 inches, but I'm not there yet. And I have another one down there. So I still need to come out a little further, and I want to go 18 inches deep, and I'm at about 12 through here. So I have about 6 more inches to go there. Still trying to get out from under the house there, but I have uncovered some. This is the cement block, and that is the beam for under our house. One of them. So I have uncovered that much. So I'm getting to where I want to be.
I'm gonna fight for the ones who heal and explode, hope and imagine, make us wanna do more. The ones who turn silence to music, thoughts into paintings, dreams into men on the moon. Some call them crazy, some call them fools. I call them friends.
If you've never seen what poison ivy looks like, this is it growing up the back side of my house. See, leaves of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The saying goes, leaves of 3, leave it be. But I can't leave this growing on the back side of my house. If you were wondering on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is this project? Well, for a 52-year-old woman, it's an 11. I'm going to get back at it.
I call them every day when I won't listen, when I got nothing to say, when I'm gonna change the world, but I'm too beat up to try, when I need to laugh out loud, when I gotta cry. I call them sisters and brothers who care for each other and help one another in need. I call them Texans, I call them friends, I call them my big family. I call them my big family.
I have made some progress on the French drain that we're digging, but let me tell you, that's some hard work. I can finally see the end in sight. I can finally see the end in sight, but I'm really only halfway done digging. And the support beam there for the house, can you see it? It's not even sitting on the bricks really. The bricks have kind of collapsed, so we're gonna have to jack up this corner of the house and get some bricks back underneath it. But it's a start, but it takes away from my gardening. And that brings us to today, and it is now October. So let me explain what happened. So I just mentally and physically hit a brick wall. Here in Texas, we skipped spring and went straight to summer, where we experienced a drought and over 100-degree temperatures for 3 months at least. It was absolutely miserable here this summer. Would you be quiet? So I couldn't do it anymore. I was getting angry and resentful that I didn't have any help. And Tommy suggested that we rent some equipment, with the bucket on there. And so I priced that, and that you have to pick it up on Friday and you can't return it until Monday, and that was $400 a day, which was way out of our price range. So I was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. So then I tried to hire somebody, and I waited, and they never showed up. So the next weekend I tried to hire someone else, and again, that person didn't show up. So it's sit here for 7 months, and we have done absolutely nothing to it. Now, we have observed when it did rain that it is a whole lot better back there, so we know we're on the right track as far as what we're doing. Whether or not we're going to use that big black corrugated pipe or not, we don't know if that's really going to be necessary right there. We may just fill that trench with rock and call it a day. We haven't decided. But it's okay to take a break from a project and admit that maybe you've taken on a little bit more than you can handle, or you delay it for a future date. And that's what I did for my own mental health. Tommy's schedule is a little bit different now, and he can take a little bit more time off to help me if we're able to get back to that. But the next thing up on our list is to get that part of the house up out of that mud and leveled. Now, if we did it the way we would really want to do it, we would hire someone and pay them to come and level the house for us and fix the issues with putting in, what do you call I can't remember what you call those things, but anyway, we would do it a whole lot better than what it has ever been. But that's about $20,000 and way out of our budget. But in the meantime, we have accomplished a lot. We have gotten a lot done. It's not like we've been sitting around twiddling our thumbs. But yeah, that is our French drain fiasco and what happened and why we just quit on the job, or why I quit on the job and have not finished that project. It will get finished eventually, but people have questions and they want to know, well, why haven't you done this yet? Why haven't you done that yet? And sometimes all of these things are connected. We can't replace that. There's no point in replacing the siding on this side of the house and on the back until we get the house leveled back here on this addition and we get this French drain dug. You know, during Harvey, we literally had water flowing into that back wall, you know, because we had a week of rain. Not only did we have water coming through the ceiling, but we had it rushing through that back wall because of how high the water levels were. And this trench has fixed a lot of that. It's not happening anymore. Granted, we had a drought, so it hasn't really been put through a hurricane test yet, but we have seen much improvement. We have a birthday party we're going to be having here next week, so I have a lot of yard cleanup to do, so I'm going to get to that. And hopefully someday here in the near future we'll be doing a video on leveling our nice little lake cabin. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on the next video.